Day 3, Problem 1. On a coordinate grid, point A is 2, 1, and point B is 4, 7. Part A, sketch a diagram. So in this question, we're asked to sketch our own grid and put these dots on there. When I look at the dots, I notice that none of them are negative, and so we only need a quadrant 1 grid, and that the largest of any of the numbers is positive 7 for this y value, and our grid therefore only needs to count up to 7. And so something like this would work well. Here is the x-axis, here is the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is far enough to accommodate the dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for the y value. Point A is 2, 1. So from the origin over to 2 for x and up to 1 for y. This is point A. We want to be very careful to be directly above the 2 and directly over from the 1. Now point B is 4, 7. And so from the origin, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, be very careful to line up directly above 4 and directly over from 7. If we don't get these lined up perfectly, then in the next question we're asked to find the distance between the dots. They might end up looking too close together or too far apart, depending upon how badly we locate these dots. Now in part B, use the Pythagorean theorem to find the distance between A and B. Here's point B and here's point A. We want to find the distance between them, or another way to say that is find the length of this segment. Now with the hint to use the Pythagorean theorem, we know we need to have a right triangle. And we can make a right triangle by drawing a vertical side, and then from point A, drawing a horizontal side to create a 90-degree corner right here. This is a right triangle. Now the shortest leg across the bottom, when you count the units, is 1, 2 units long. Or another way to think of this, from x is 2 to x is 4 is a difference of 2 units. This is 2. Now this side of the triangle here, how long is it? Well, we need to count how far we had gone up. We can count over here on the y-axis where there are actually little marks to help us count. Or perhaps even another way to find it, if this is at a y value of 1 and point B is at a y value of 7, what is the difference between 1 and 7? That is 6 units. Now the side that we want to figure out that is unknown to us is the hypotenuse of the triangle, and that's the one that we would call C in the Pythagorean theorem. Now here's the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A is 2 and B is 6. 2 squared is 4. 6 squared is 36. 4 plus 36 is 40. And then to remove an exponent of 2, we use square root. So square root of 40 is equal to the square root of C squared. And so the square root of 40 is equal to C. Now about how much is the square root of 40? 40 is not one of the perfect square numbers that when you take its square root you get a whole number. So the best we're going to be able to do there is take a decimal guess out to the 10th position on the value of the square root of 40. Let's do that on some scrap paper. Okay. From my multiplication table, I know that 6 squared is 36. And I know that 7 squared is 49. So the square root of 36 is 6, and the square root of 49 is 7. Well, the square root of 40 is in between the square root of 36 and the square root of 49. So its value is in between 6 and 7. It is 6 point and then some number here. 40 is not exactly halfway between them. It is closer to 36 than it is to 49. And so as a guess on the tens position, I am going to guess a 0.3. The square root of 40 is approximately 6.3. So C equals 6.3. In the drawing, the letter C was written on the segment from A to B, and that is the one we were asked to find. So we have figured out that this distance is about 6.3 units. Now day 3, problem 2. Graph figure ABC with these 3 vertices. Point A is 0, 0, so here at the origin is point A. Point B is 2, 4, over 2, up 4. Here is point B. And point C is negative 2, 4. Left 2, up 4. Here is point C. Connecting together, we have this triangle shape. Now part B, graph its reflection over the x-axis. Here's the x-axis going across the grid. We want to reflect triangle ABC to the other side of the reflection line. Now because point A is located on the reflection line, its image will stay on the reflection line. And so this dot is not only point A, but it is also point A prime. Point B is 1, 2, 3, 4 units above the red line, and so its image is 1, 2, 3, 4 units below the red line. Similarly for point C, its image will be below the red line. We can connect these 3 dots together and create our new triangle. This triangle is the mirror image of the original triangle in black ink. Now part C, what are the coordinates of the vertices of the new triangle? Well, A prime is still at 0, 0. Now B prime, the reflection image of B, it's still over 2, but instead of up 4, it's now down 4. So it is 2, negative 4. And now C prime. Like point C, it is still left to negative 2, but instead of up 4, it's down 4. And so it is negative 2, negative 4.